the T.R.A.G.I.C podcast, episode number 7. Much love and many shout outs to everybody who subscribed. If this is your first time on the podcast, welcome, and make sure you subscribe as well. My name is Rudy Ortiz, in case you didn't read the captions at the bottom. Like I said, episode number 7. And today my guest is a very talented dude, very good friend of mine, very sincere and decent human being, Jairo Vargas, leader and frontman for Baonix, and also Roja and the Pocket, coming out of San Francisco, California. Jairo, what's up, baby? I sent you an Uber. You came through. A lot of people won't do that.
No one will do that.
So I appreciate the fuck out of that, man. Let's cheers it up.
Cheers to that. Thank you, Rudy. Yo, bro. That's VIP treatment right there.
Bro, so for the people who don't know our history, obviously, but also your history, tell people about Baonix. I know, you've been the frontman for Baonix for a long time. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've had a chance to see you play on multiple times because we go on the comedy tour with Frankie Quinones and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But tell people about the origins of Baonix.
The origins.
Yeah.
Well, it started in the world of Baonica.
Thou shalt not pass.
We basically, Bay Area band, Bay Area Mission native crew, mostly out of Frisco, Oakland, Berkeley, and we all met in college.
Yeah.
SF State, to be exact, and we started as a salsa band, actually.
Really? Bayo started as a salsa band.
We were called Mala Fama.
I like that name.
And they were already established,
Yeah.
when I got there, when I got to school, and when I got to peep who these cats were. Yeah, man. Basically, I went to state, I was doing my soccer thing.
Yeah.
Never sang. I never did band.
While you were playing soccer in college, you were just kind of like singing on the under?
I could always sing because my older brother is a singer.
Okay.
And he had a cappella group. So I'd always hear him, since I was a kid.
Okay.
Singing stuff. And, if he needed a quick 3-part harmony, like my ear was always there as a kid.
Right.
But I mean, really, I balled out. Everything was ball.
Soccer was life.
Soccer, hoops, anything with the ball. But soccer was trying to go to, try to play for the SF State soccer team. Mm-hmm, but I basically couldn't make it happen. Coaches found out, they noticed I had some vision problems. Mm. So I was kind of like I was in the closet,
Right.
Your boy was in I knew I had vision problems since I was a youngster.
Right.
So I was in the closet at the time. I was like, 18 years old.
Yeah.
And then, so I was like, all right, screw it, man. I don't need to play ball for this team. And when I was kind of bummed out leaving the soccer field, walking through this campus and through the quad, and I hear like all these youngsters, like little Frisco Mission cats, ripping up some straight like Hector Lavoe or some Fania All-Stars.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like some homeboys though. And I was like, what is this? There's a tall, skinny white boy on the keys, my boy Ben Ezra. Shout out to my boy, who pretty much, we kicked it. We chopped it up afterwards. I met Pedro.
Nice.
He was in the crew. And roasted a chopper with the crew. Went freestyled while they were jamming in the practice room.
I mean, if you're gonna roast a chopper, you gotta get a freestyle in. I mean, it'd be a waste of weed to not kick a freestyle.
We kicked a freestyle over some salsa, and they did some remixes, and they're like, "Yo, what's up, man? We're looking for some cats to sing coro."
So that right there was your first interaction with Baonix. That was the group that was soon to be known as Baonix.
Soon to be known as Baonix.
Okay.
It was Mala Fama. It was a straight up like salsa cover band.
Okay.
It was dope. My first gig with these cats, bro, was at the Bill Graham Civic Center.
Yeah.
I had to learn dance routine numbers.
Oh, you were out there.
I was straight the backup
1, 2,
boy.
3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You were out there like dance moms, huh?
Dance, dude. We were youngsters.
Smile.
Cats looking like straight, you know what I'm saying?
So this is we're talking about 20 years ago, roughly.
Like
so you
Frisco's Menudo.
Real talk, boy. Somebody got to be Ricky Martin out here.
Missions Menudo.
Okay, so you met up with Baonix around 20 years ago is when you first started interacting with them. Now fast forward to 2022, you're still the front man for Baonix and also Roja in the Pocket. Your history in music in the Bay Area is like well established, you know, and that's one of the things that I admire about you the most is that like you're an artist, and I respect an artist because an artist has conviction, and they believe in what they believe in, and they fuck with what they believe in. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why me and you always hit it off so well, like especially when we were first met and stuff. And I'm glad you touched on something that you touched on when you were telling the story about meeting Bayo, how when you were in college, you were playing soccer and you had to walk away from the game of soccer because, as you mentioned, your coach started noticing some details. Yeah. And that's precisely, for everybody who's out there tuning into the T.R.A.G.I.C podcast, that's precisely why I brought you onto the podcast today, because you got a story to tell. And this is what we do here on this show. You know, we tell stories. We have people tell their story. And you lost your eyesight.
My eyesight.
Yeah, you lost your eyesight at a young age.
I thought you were bringing me on because I lost my front tooth.
Oh no!
That was last week, and I got a retainer right now.
No, we doing an IG live for that.
Oh, my bad. I
just want you to click it out.
I don't want to mess up the mic. Y'all. When you told me you lost, my front tooth. It's true, y'all. Yeah,
it's a fact.
Yeah,
I don't know. Don't ask how like they got the colors to match with the other teeth. But
I don't know. They worked it out.
It's the new science, the new medical technology that we have.
From after I turn 40, you lose your teeth. I'm losing my hair. I'm losing my eyes. You know,
right.
We lose everything, man.
So yeah, I mean, and that's true. That's true in life. That's what we do. We lose everything, and whether it's the teeth or the eyes, I mean, for a lot of us, it's going to be like very daunting. You know what I mean? And for you as a young man, tell us, you know, the experience that you went through. Tell us about the experience that you went through, like losing your eyesight at a young age.
I mean, the thing was, I always kept it positive. You know what I'm saying? I knew at a young age it was going down. And that's why I always just told myself, I look in the mirror and I'd be like, you know, take my eyes, but not my curls, y'all. You feel me? Don't take the curls. You feel me? I ain't gonna let the hair down either.
Let the curls bang.
Oh, no, I can't do that either.
Damn, bro, you blessed.
That's why I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Blessed in other ways. No, you gotta keep it. We found out when I was 8 years old, no night vision is the first one. First symptom or first item on the observation list. Yeah. And then there's tunnel vision. So no, you know, the peripheral, it's just islands. That's how that's how it goes down. And then, so I never had night vision, you know. I was, and I kept it on the, you know, we knew when I was 8, and then it would get, you know, exposed during basketball games. Like if I played in gyms that had dim lit gymnasiums, I didn't play well. And I was like, you know, I ran the one. I was a starting point guard, both ambidextrous, rocking both hands.
Right. Got to have the peripherals.
Ball was everything.
Right.
Running the point and getting the scores, the rock was my job, you know? Yeah. And I took pride in that. And then when I played in well-lit gyms, you know, it was go time.
Right.
And that's where people were like, wow, what's going on here? You know, it's like different players.
Right.
And for me, I would, you know, it hit me at a young age. So I was like, what's going on? You know, I didn't really put 2 and 2 together until I started getting a little older.
So you started noticing things, obviously, like the night vision and stuff when you were 8 years old, but you weren't really, were you ever diagnosed with a condition?
We got diagnosed when I was 8, called retinitis pigmentosis. So RP.
Okay.
And it's a trip because now it's starting to come out in the light now. You know, people are starting to, it's, you know, it's still not that common.
Yeah.
But we're out there. You know what I'm saying? We're out here. And they say it's hereditary, a degenerative disease, right? So my bro has it as well. And we both, but he can still see a lot better. I mean, he can
There's like different degrees to the RP.
Yeah, the love for me, like I've had a cane since 2009. So I've had to, didn't really have the, like I see light and when it's dark and then just shadows.
Right.
Now, like no color, no faces. You know what I'm saying? It's been like that since about 08, maybe 09, probably.
Okay.
On that tip. So I got when I had to get a cane. I mean, I should have probably gotten a cane in like 07.
Yeah.
I was coming home. My lady was like, she just thought I was getting just mollywopped on the bus, getting home from coming around the city, you know what I'm saying? And it was just my ass running in the trees,
right.
poles,
just battle scars,
fire hydrants.
Damn.
I mean, that's all day, you know what I'm saying?
I could imagine that it's got to be frustrating, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like I remember one time we were on the road and you were getting out of the van and you stepped in a puddle. And I was like, oh man, we let this fool step in a puddle. I was like, shit, man, because it was like a gutter full of water, and we're like, oh fuck,
yeah.
How did we not notice that? You know what I'm saying? And we could tell. We were like, oh, Jairo, like we just fucked up his shoe.
Yeah.
And so it's got to be like some frustration from this stuff just coming out of nowhere.
No, I think bad karma came your guys' way after that. So.
Oh yeah, because we had a terrible show after that. It was fucked up. You were the only one that was doing anything. You got the biggest laughs the whole fucking weekend. The rest of us were all off.
That's yeah.
Dude, so you mentioned your lady. You have a wife. You're married. You have kids.
I got kids.
You have 2 kids, and every time that
they're mine too.
Yeah, we know for sure because I feel their energy. I only have met them in person maybe once or twice, but I hear them on the phone a lot because when we're on the phone chopping it up and stuff. Your kids are like definitely there and present. So they got Jairo energy.
Yeah, they're in the mix.
And they're in the mix. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, with being blind and having 2 kids at home, 2 little kids.
Yeah.
I mean, what are the challenges that you meet there, man? Because you can't tell me that,
they're not pulling fast ones on me.
I mean, yeah, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
I mean, it's only deserving that, a weasel has 2 weasel children.
Right.
Who are going to weasel back. And they're like, oh yeah. And matter of fact, dad's blind. So you're about to get like,
wow,
super weaseled.
That means that you have to be like the ultimate weasel.
Yeah, pretty much.
You got to go ultimate weasel on him.
I mean, that was my wrestling name when I was a kid. I was
because they called him that because he was hairy and limber.
The ultimate weasel.
Oh, let me tell you, brother, when I weasel up in that ass, I'm never coming out. I'm never coming out of there, brother. I'm digging deep into your soul, brother.
Oh, my God. Yeah, no, remember, and also, I teach at an elementary school. I do after school little kids rock,
right,
and PE.
That's another thing too, man. You don't just have your kids that you're like involved
I have everyone's
with.
Kids.
You have everyone's kids that you're involved.
I have
with.
everyone's kids.
So what's the secret to not having these little motherfuckers pulling fast ones on you all the
to try
time?
to get over on me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Got to stay ready, so I got to get ready. You feel me? That's how I got to keep it. You feel me?
All right.
Hell no, man. I'm up in there like, you remember Al Pacino in Son of a Woman?
Yes.
I'm just up in there like just barking orders.
Yeah.
I run a straight boot camp out there.
Yeah.
They don't play because I run PE as well. And then I'm the fitness guy and after school. And they are like, right now it's 4th and 5th grade.
Yeah.
And I got support, but they know what's up. They know better, I know when they pulling out flaming hot Cheetos in the cuts and going to the bathroom stall and coming back and they got, hot Cheeto breath.
That's why they make those rappers so loud.
I just say, everyone, look how nasty these fools are right here. They're eating Cheetos in the nasty bathroom stall. And that's how I put them on blast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's mind games with kids. You got to put them on blast.
Mind games. I got to keep it real. I keep it real with my blood children.
Right.
Like I tell my folks, tell folks like, my kids had to mature at a younger age.
Yeah.
Because like when it comes to crossing the street or walking here or helping them out with whatever, their clothes, brushing hair, blow drying, taking baths, showing them how to do whatever they need to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like they need to communicate with me so I can have a better perspective.
Do you feel like that's had a direct impact on their communication abilities? Like, do they do better communicating than other kids that you know?
I mean, they kind of let you know what time it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For sure. They are, both of them. My daughter especially.
Right.
And but they have a good gauge on what, you know what I'm saying, what's going on.
Right.
And how to communicate their emotions, their feelings, and what they're thinking.
Right.
And how to convey these things, and also, like, you know, settings and where we're at, because, you know, I'm also raising these cats in Frisco.
Straight up.
So I'm trying to raise some city kids. So it's also, you got to know what's up, and how also gaming on some street smart as well, not just life in general, but when you're out in the streets and we're on board.
It's funny. It's funny how they call it street smarts, and I always felt that term got a super negative connotation, because streets just sounds like it's uneducated and rough and violent, and everybody just looks down on the notion of streets. But street smarts isn't just for like poverty-stricken areas.
Yeah,
street smarts are for the streets of the world. You know, motherfuckers like just can't be walking around with just no common sense. That's dangerous.
And that's what it is. I mean, we live in SF where like economic disparity is so fat. You know what I'm saying? It's so wide where like you can be in the dopest St. Francis Woods, Pack Heights, Russian Hill, and you can get got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You in the city still. And it's just about knowing what's up and having common sense.
Yeah.
Just like you nailed it.
Yeah, common sense is what it really just, you know, all comes down to, if you ask me, because I've been around for 39 years, and I still meet grown men and women that are my age and older, and I'd be like, what the fuck are you smoking in the morning, man? Like, why do you make such bad decisions over and over again? But you want to know what it is though, man? Motherfuckers don't make mistakes. A mistake happens one time, then you stop. When you do the same shit, dumb shit over and over again, now you're making a decision.
Yeah, exactly.
That ain't no fucking mistake.
Right.
That's a decision to make.
No, that's real talk. I mean, I get caught up with that all the time.
Yeah.
Even when I think I'm slick, when I'm with my, you know, I'm navigating in the streets with my cane.
Yeah.
And if I don't do stuff usually by the book, you know, I get hurt. I run into shit.
Right.
I you know, and you got to learn from that.
You know, speaking about your cane, I mean, I've seen you in action with it, and you're nice with the cane. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I be watching, you know, when we go on the road and shit, and we're out like walking to a restaurant or whatever. Like I see you with the cane, and I'm like, this fool's good. You know, you're kind of like batting 1,000 most of the time. And my thing is this though, like you're on the road so much, and you're doing so much traveling. I mean, what were the biggest challenges when you first started going on the road like that?
Bro.
To just walking around and just having to deal with that the lack of eyesight in different cities.
So I started getting trained at that end of 08, 09 season, and I had a dope ass mobility instructor over at the Lighthouse for the Blind, and they used to be located on Van Ness and Grove at the time.
Well, what's a mobility instructor at that school? Like what do they?
They teach you how to navigate how to self-navigate.
Okay.
Right? Like how to, like, so for me, for instance, how to use a cane, right? I never had a cane in my life. You feel me? So it's like, oh, this is life with a cane. This is how you cross the street. This is how you go downstairs, go upstairs. This is how you navigate for an elevator. This is how you navigate in terms of how wide your pathway is.
Right.
This is how you navigate, like, you know, teaching you. People freak out, right, when I hit my cane on a pole or something.
Right.
Oh, so there's a pole, sir. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The goal, you know, when I tell people, the goal is we want the cane to hit that thing, not me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If the cane's hitting it, then I know not to hit that. You know
that's a victory for me.
That's a victory for me. Right. I mean, I busted this front tooth many times.
Yeah.
But the shocker was I was striking up my block to go pick up my son from preschool. And, you know, we got like steep driveways, you know, that's part of our sidewalk in the city on my block. And my neighbor got he got like his work truck, but like, you know, it's super high. It's, you know, you
got to boost it up.
Boost it up. I don't know. Yeah, it's probably boosted up, but he was parked in the sidewalk in his driveway. And my cane, it was so high up that my cane didn't even hit his truck until like it got damn near close, like 3/4 to my hand.
You were like walking into the wheel well.
Yeah. My face face plant straight into the side of the truck.
Yeah.
And the homie was in the garage. He was like, yo, man, did you just run into my truck? And I was straight stars, like
little Tweety birds and
just
shit.
bleeding. My gums were bleeding. My lip was all fat. And I was just like, he's like, you okay? I'm like, and just I rung my bell all the time.
Yeah.
But I missed. It was so high up. My fucking cane missed that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy, man.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
There's got to be some sort of California regulation. You can't have your car up that high.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I might have been cane walking a little bit above the speed limit.
Oh, dude, you were CUI?
I think I was CUI.
Caning under the influence.
I might have been a little speeding.
Damn, we're switching lanes and shit.
Sorry.
You need some blinkers, man.
Switching lanes. I'm up into my cane. You feel me? But it happens. And so that mobility instructor.
That's what they're there for.
So he's the one who helps me, navigate this, right?
Sure.
So I had to pick up hella quick because we were touring, right?
Yeah.
Baonix at the time we were playing in South Florida a lot, in Texas, and we were playing festivals, and we had to tour. And I was like, hey, he was teaching me how to go up some stairs, go down like a hall,
right?
Like some terms, how to shoreline when it's like all flat. Hey, whoever's watching this is about to game up on some straight visually impaired terminology.
Oh, y'all about to get this terminology.
And it's when you're just constantly hitting a straight wall that's flat all the way down wherever you're going. You feel me?
Right.
So it's like I'm just making sure you're tapping it. It's whatever. It's kind of dangerous too.
Yeah.
Living on the shoreline is kind of where I like to live. Anyways, if you basically get to learn how to navigate through all these different environments.
Of course.
I told my instructor, like, yo, how do you navigate through an airport?
Right.
He was like, are you ready for this? I'm like, yo, dude, I'm hopping on like this weekend, we're gone. Then I'm going to Seattle the next weekend. Like, just a lot of it is the training of how to be comfortable with my vision impairment.
Right.
Because the situation is, I don't give, like for me, like when I have the cane, I roll. I just go because I got shit to do.
Yeah.
I got to get to A. I got to get to B. I got to handle my shit.
Yeah.
I don't got time to be like sitting here feeling sorry for myself and all that bullshit.
Right.
And I don't got time for folks who see me to really take pity because a lot of folks, when they're around blind folks, they don't know how to act.
Right.
They act dumb, you know what I'm saying? Or they get on stuck mode.
Yeah.
Or they're uncomfortable. So part of the training I got at the Lighthouse for the Blind was how to be comfortable and how to communicate what my needs are to people who can see, especially like if I'm walking, if I didn't call you to get here, I would have got dropped off and I got to find the address.
Of course.
If there's a stranger walking past, got to be comfortable. Like, excuse me, sir.
I mean,
ma'am.
because you have to. I mean, because everybody most of the people that are around you, you're right. They're not going to know exactly how to, how to navigate themselves. You know what I mean? They might have to think twice about it as well. So that's interesting that at the school, like they specify in figuring out a way to make you a better like communicator for the rest of the world when it really should be the other way around.
Well, it's
but
easy.
you're coming out, you're saying, look, y'all, I understand what's going on here. I know why you guys may be a little, you feel out of place because you're not around somebody who's visually impaired most of the time.
Exactly. So folks don't know how to interact or even act when they're around some blind folks. I got homies that would see me on Muni. They said they'd see me on Muni and they were just not used to it and they wouldn't even come talk to me. They tell me like 2 weeks later, like, hey man, I saw you on the train. I was like, oh, we just getting off? They're like, no, man, I actually sat across from you for like 6 stops and I just didn't know how to act.
Wow.
I'm like, man, that sucks for you. You know, that's whack, I told him. But whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Did that happen a lot? Like when people in your life started realizing like that you were visually impaired?
I don't know. No, because I had Baonix was my family, and they had to go through it with me. I know it was uncomfortable for some of my bandmates.
Yeah,
especially like they're trying to pop at girls. We're at bars, clubs, getting off stage. It's like, oh man, dude, poof, hey fool, put that cane away. I'm like, man, shut up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? It's just. We're in our 20s. Homies don't know how to really act.
Yeah.
But then it's like, yo, blood. And then they're like, nah, fools are tripping. This, And also, it's also a different story when it's, the head honcho supremo.
The head honcho supremo, the ultimate weasel.
When it's, when it's the old head Nacho Del Grande.
Right.
Is losing his impairment,
Right.
Whatever. It helped out. Like, they're like, oh shit, he's our front guy. He's our lead guy. And I'm the composer, writer, I'm driving the bus with it. And now losing my vision during the process, it's like, okay. But there were, absolutely the challenges. I don't want to make it sound like I was like, shooting from the hip and I was straight Maverick, Top Gun in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I had my apprehensions. I had to go through those trainings. I had to go through those emotions. I had to go through those, that is like conditioning.
Yeah. How long did it take before you felt comfortable just being out there?
It took like probably 3 to 6 months.
3 to 6 months.
Something like that,
Yeah.
Like to get, fully comfortable in how to communicate to others.
Right.
To folks who I'm with. And then understanding like, some cats feel like it's like, oh man, it's like I gotta be responsible, bro. I'm like, nah, fool, just don't walk me into an alligator pit. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever you fucking do.
I got my cane. I don't need your ass. You know what I'm saying? I've been up in strip clubs and stuff like that.
But that's,
they guide me around perfect.
Right. Just follow the titties.
Yeah,
I can feel them. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking hang on to them.
Oh, he took the blind dude. Oh, girl, you want to walk with him? He can't find his friend. I'm like, yeah, I can't find my friend.
It's like,
and I got 3 girls guiding me throughout the whole club.
I got 3 girls named Cinnamon just running right behind him and shit. Mm-hmm. Bro, so I'm glad you brought that up because I was talking to P before you came here, my super producer. I was saying how there was one time where. Oh, wait, no, I was telling somebody else, not you, P. I don't want to start telling the story, and then P's like, you didn't fucking tell me that shit. I was talking to somebody else before I came here, and I was talking about how I watched you watch a video one time we were on the road, I think it was Tampa or something like that, and Frankie came in, and he had a brand new skit that he had just shot or something like that, and he's like, hey, Jairo, check this out, and he fucking gave you the video, and I was like watching you, and both of you guys were just fucking focused on the phone, watching the video, like enjoying the fuck out of it. And it made me think, I'm like, maybe there is some truth behind the fact that, if you lose one sense, the other ones like are empowered or they become heightened. Sorry, yeah, empowered. Like they didn't have rights before. Yeah, no, but no, they're heightened because the way you were just so connected to the sketch on the phone. If I didn't know any better, dog, I was like, okay, it's just 2 dudes watching a fucking funny video. You know
right.
What I mean? Does that come into play, or is that just like a myth?
I mean, no, heightened senses, no. And by the way, I like the shampoo you've been using lately. Smells pretty good.
It's that Per Plus.
I'm not gonna lie, not bad.
It's that Per Plus new variant.
Hey, not bad, you. Huh?
Hey, this guy over here with the herbal essences.
Not for nothing, but hey, smelling pretty good over here.
Hey, man.
No, yes, heightened senses are
that's a thing.
Not a myth. Not a myth for me, for sure. No.
Is there any sense in particular that got more heightened than the others? Like one that just stands out?
Well, my sense of smell is pretty on point.
Yeah.
But it depends if I didn't, use my nose hair trimmer that day. You know what I mean? But no, my hearing for sure. But in the sense of just, there's that other sense of like space.
Yes, the spatial knowledge.
Like I know when there's an alleyway coming up and I don't feel it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm using hearing, but it's like vibrations too.
Right.
So I feel I'm off of that. But no, that's how I navigate, man. So the little vision I got, I probably got like 8% vision.
Okay.
And all I see is just light.
Right.
And that's why I have to wear the shades all the time because my eyes are super sensitive to light.
To the light, yeah.
And in terms of like, I'd say the beginning of my training, one of my other instructors who was the man who did all the technology training with me, you know what I'm saying? Like with the computer, it was using voiceover applications.
Right.
And also there was one where you change the font and invert you have a color contrast so like it's maybe in 2009 and 2010 I could probably still read something that was on yellow and blue.
Yeah.
Or white on black. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it was enlarged, so I could still read it. So I started doing all this training, and then my boy looked at me. He just tapped me. He's like, "Look," he was blind as well, and he's like, "Look, you can learn this stuff, or you can get really good at all the voiceover stuff.
Yeah.
Because your hearing's about to like completely improve in terms of what you can obtain." And what type of information you're gonna be able to receive, and it's gonna be at a way faster level than you ever have before, and that's gonna allow you to stay competitive with the day-to-day human being who can the sighted, right?
Right.
So he's like, and then
Is that what they're called? The sighted?
I don't know. I just made that. It sounded cool.
That
right?
sounds cool as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. The sighted.
Or you humans,
Yeah.
right? I mean, really.
Yeah.
You humans crack me up, really.
We're a funny species.
It's funny stuff. But no, what it is he was like, don't stress off, don't stress off stressing your eyes out on stuff that you're not barely gonna make, make what it is, make out what it is.
Yeah.
But save your eyesight for the little that you can't see, save it for like the beautiful things in life.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And then just use the sense of hearing and all my other senses take over. And he's like, trust me, it's going to allow you to become competitive again. And I was like, okay. And once I gave into that,
Once you leaned into that, it was just...
no pun intended, I never looked back.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't have to look over your shoulder ever again.
No boy.
Dude, so speaking of the beautiful things that you should save your eyesight for, like they told you, use what you have left to see that. When you think about those things, the beautiful things, I mean, what are some of the things that you miss being able to gaze upon?
My wife, my lady's eyes. We've been together since I was 16 years old. So she went, she knew this was going down.
Yeah.
You feel me? My parents, my family.
Yeah.
Like look in their faces, you know what I'm saying? I never seen what my kids look like.
Right. So do you imagine what they look like?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, obviously, I'm sure people tell you what they describe to you what they look like, but
yeah, it helps that they say one looks exactly like Alita and the other one looks exactly like me. So
that's definitely good. Two good reference points.
I was like, that works for me. I'll take that. I know what those two look like.
Yeah.
And then and that's a little different because everything else, of course, I would love to. What would I do to see, the sky? You know what I'm saying, or like a beautiful blue sky or a beautiful ocean. But I mean, I have those memories locked in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But whatever it is, whatever it counts. Like every day, my coworker tells me when we're at the schoolhouse. Like right at that 5:15 right now, she's like, man, the sky's a beautiful pink. You know what I mean? She breaks it down for me.
Right.
With the look, Mr. Fog. And I can, fortunately for me, I have a point of reference.
Right.
Where I can tap into my memory bank and I still have those. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because these are things that, well, like your coach said, you got a chance to see a lot of the real beautiful things.
Yeah.
In life,
Yeah.
And I could just imagine, everybody's mind's eye is so different, but I could just imagine like some of the stuff that we all just kind of replay in our mind, and the way that we all individually interpret things, is just so different for everybody. That's why when I hear you talk about, seeing your wife and seeing your kids, and then you not knowing what your kids actually look like. I mean, it's really interesting to tap into somebody's mind and just say like, well, how do you envision them? How do you view them? So I just think I've always been fascinated by like the parental element for your story. You know?
My kids. Do you remember the movie Nacho Libre?
Of course.
Do you remember when Nacho and Esteban go up against those two little like trolley little horse
Yeah.
Like
The little ugly ass.
the Diablo little trolley guys.
Right.
Well, like they kind of got like a horse donkey.
Those two of them, they have the big, the big asses.
Those two, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine my kids look like. No, I'm kidding.
Well, they work good in a team.
Yeah, they definitely do. They definitely do.
Work good in a team.
That's
man.
how they wrestle too. You know what I mean? I'm like,
all right, man. So let me ask you this, man. We got a little bit of time left, but I want to ask you this. I usually ask my guests because when I hear their story, when I hear them talk about their tales and whatnot, I always like to ask them, how would you describe yourself before or at the beginning of your story, and then how would you describe yourself after?
wow, no one's ever asked me that. Because I definitely know what I've gained from it.
Right.
Let's see. Vanity, pretentiousness, you know, the needs that you think you need, the wants, the looks, right? In terms of like the shallowness of life,
Right.
of our day to day, like none of that exists in my world anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really take people in for who they are. I can't judge them by their appearance.
Yeah.
I mean, I can judge them on how funky they are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, come on, man. I got some funky homies, and that's a little offensive, fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh. But in terms of image,
Yes.
and what image is in our society, and us being artists, and what we are, and how you know, there's shaming of the bodies, there's shaming of beauty, and there's shaming of how you styled and what you wear. Like all that's been eliminated for me.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And I could imagine, and I imagine this with myself, you know, like that probably takes up so much real estate in my mind and in my spirit, and you don't even realize it.
Well,
you don't even realize how much space that takes up.
it's a faster route to empathy. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
in terms of judgment and pre-assumptions on others,
That's out the window.
you know what I'm saying? And like, man, I was teaching students for like almost 3 months, and I didn't even know what ethnicity they were. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then finally I found out who was what and who was there, you know? And then I treated them all different once I found out what ethnic background. No, I'm kidding.
Once we figured out if they were from Central America or
Yeah,
South
yeah.
America, we got to know the difference.
You're Jewish and Central American? Oh, fuck.
You know,
No, I'm kidding.
Jairo, but I love what you said right now, man. That really stood out to me. You know, it's a fast track to empathy.
I mean,
That's if you could expand on that a little bit, man, because I'm obviously I've never thought of it that way.
I think it's the work that I've been doing forever, working in like working with inner city youth. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know too many of my homies and folks in my community that grew up. I mean, I know my community, but homies that I went to like school with, everyone, you know, you got to get out. You got to look out for yourself. You got to, especially in the Bay Area, and we're in the most expensive regions in the world.
Right.
And
Expensive and dangerous.
yeah,
It's like, goddamn.
yeah, no, you're right.
You know what I mean?
But in terms of being empathetic, in terms of knowing what is the root, like educating our youth, educating folk, Black and brown communities, making sure, like, you know, acknowledging that systemic racism, you know, is a thing. It's not a thing. It's the
alive.
foundation of all of our entire society. And once you understand all that, to be able to dive in and tap in and get some minutes with, you know, get some time to share and to find out because everyone hates on everybody. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter. Don't matter who you are. Like, no, man. No, I get down with everybody. You know what I'm saying? No, it's like fools just hate on everybody. That's how our society has always been. You know what I'm saying? Because folks are different. Removing the sight, like I said, I taught these students for real for 3 months straight. I didn't know what ethnicity they were.
Right.
And they just got even playing fields. And when you roll like that, life's a little different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You look at the world, you have a different perspective, an outlook on it. And not everything's always about like me.
That's got to remove some sort of like pressure
It does release
You know what I mean?
pressure.
Because I could just,
Like,
I could imagine you don't have to worry about all these other qualifiers.
Well, I
You
knew
don't
I was
think about
coming here
them.
tonight, and I could have lined my beard up, and I completely neglected that.
Right.
And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that tonight because it's all good.
Yeah, the vanity again, another
vanity
out the window. No, that's really gonna stay with me, man, because it's interesting because we all spend so much time talking about how we can reach a higher plane of empathy. You know, I feel like a decent person wants to figure that out, and you know, the way you're explaining it is just like a reminder of how we carry with us and put so much pressure on ourselves with things that absolutely are pointless.
They're pointless.
And don't mean anything.
Don't mean nothing.
And we could have such a quicker, like you said, fast track to empathy and a clearer mind and a clearer spirit if we could just eliminate that shit.
I mean, myself as an artist and watching like Latin urban artists or whatever music I'm into, you know, whatever, like watching all these award shows and watching these folks. And then you just hear people just on social media. You hear folks, if you're watching them with a crew of folks, you just hear commentary, like folks are just, hey, oh my God, what is she wearing?
Right.
Oh my God, look at this fool he's wearing, my eyeliner.
Right.
Oh my God, what is he doing? Oh, looking hella ugly. Like before they even get to come out and speak, it's like, and I'm all that, I don't give a
Right. Do you feel
I'm not tripping off that. I have people tell me about it, and I'm like, oh, interesting, cool.
Yeah.
But I don't care. Like I don't care.
It just doesn't resonate with you.
It doesn't register.
Right.
It's like I get it, and I used to, you know, like don't get me wrong, the wifey keeps me like, you know what I'm saying, styled up, and we you know, keep me dressed. My family's all about that. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of my outlook and perspective towards others, and using that as something that's going to be
Like a qualifier for people.
the qualifier, if it's yes or it's a yay or nay.
Yeah.
Are they in? Do I give them my love? Do I give them my time, my energy, my, you know, anything,
Yeah.
any of that, right? And I was like, no, man, everyone deserves something, you know what I'm saying? And I think I've tapped into that also during the training of like being super vulnerable out in the streets.
Right.
You know, and they're like, hey, you got to go find it. Part of the training that I was doing with the mobility instructor is like, all right, you got to go find 750 Sutter Street. And I'm going to be shadowing you like 15 feet behind, but I'm not going to help you. And if you're in a pickle, I'll help you out.
Yeah.
But you got to like train. And it was part of my training. And like, don't get me wrong, man, those first 3 to 6 months, there was like, I probably had like 20 people walk past me and I just couldn't get it out. Like, it's just, help me get,
Right.
like the timing and it's the hearing and all of the stuff. It's pace. It's a rhythm.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, all right, let me get the right rhythm before, you know what I'm saying? When you're doing double Dutch, right? And you got to wait the right moment when to hop in, when they're spinning the jump rope. And you're doing that little bounce before you hop in. Like,
Right.
okay, I won't come in, so we do my thing. You know, like, that's kind of how it is when I'm out there. You gotta find a rhythm and see what's up, but it's also finding the pulse of your environment.
Yeah.
Right. And what's going on. But there's a lot of like vulnerability in that moment. And once you can get accustomed to humility, right? And once one can not just tolerate but accept humiliation, is like it happens. I mean, that also helps out your whole demeanor and your whole day to day, you know, and how you approach your day to day.
Absolutely,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? Like, you want to think you hella slick and cool, and then, you know, run into a pole or a fucking wall once a week. Right. That'll humble your ass real quick. You know what I'm saying? That'll put your ass in check with a quickness.
With the motherfucking quickness.
And I be thinking I'm slick too. It's like, even tonight I had to check my kids, you know what I'm saying? I had to check on my wife made a bomb-ass dinner. Yeah. And both of them, it was a healthy dinner. It was banging. It was a bomb-ass hash, right? And neither of them, my son was complaining and my daughter wouldn't have cut, eat, take a couple bites, and then she just came over, dropped the plate in between both my wife and I. Was like, I can't eat this. I'm not gonna have dessert tonight. And then my son was like, yeah, me neither. And they walked away. And then my wife was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, no. I check these fools. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not raising my kids to be like on this tip where like food is just a wasteful
It's just
thing.
a waste. No,
you know what I'm
we ain't
saying?
doing that.
And what we provide is what you get, and that's the nutrients, and that's the vitamins, and that's the goodness that of what we provide in order for you to be, tip top by tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you ain't gonna eat this, your ass is gonna be hungry.
You're gonna be hungry. It's gonna be a hungry strike up in here.
And my thing is, I get these incidents with them where I try to put them in check, and I'll put them in check. I'm like, all right, and I give them a little lecture, and then I walk away, and then bam, run my ass right and stub my pinky toe or something. And it just happens.
And
all
it's
the
right back to
time.
square one.
Back to square one.
But that's what builds the character, is going back to square one repeatedly.
It does.
It really does.
It does, and they see it, and they think it's funny, and they laugh because I know how to handle myself with it. But I also like instill the realness and where I'm coming from into them, and they respect it.
Bro,
but it's like
that's just such a powerful approach. That's like that right there is the equivalent to somebody finally teaching you how to fucking do squats in the gym. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit. Like, I've been watching you for months and you fucking keep on doing it from your back. You're gonna throw your back out. Like, you need to really go down. You need to go down with your knees.
Yeah.
But dude, I love to hear that, man. I mean, I don't know if I kind of wish we could have saved the final word for that, because that was so enlightening. But nonetheless, though, I'm gonna give it to you because all my guests, they get a chance to have the final word. Anything you want to talk about, any message you want to put out there, your handles, your music. Whatever you want to say, man. Just the whole world is listening to you, and you get the final word, and the floor is yours.
Don't be afraid of us blind community folk. We come in peace. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared. Don't be acting scary. No, I'm not. I'm messing around, man. I'm just stoked to be here and to be able to tell my story and to let folks know, you know what I mean? Like you said, that final word, for me, there's more to life. You know what I'm saying? There's folks with road rage. There's folks who are sick. There's so much shit going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And right now, what we don't need is folks to be tripping off some dumb shit. You know what I mean?
Real talk.
Like, the goal is to just be thoughtful, be kind to one another. You know what I mean? Show love. People, sometimes not everyone needs a consultant. Sometimes people just need to get things off their chest. And if you're a homie out there, sometimes you just got to listen. Opposed to everyone trying to put, taking out their coin purse and, dropping their 2 cents, you feel me? And it's just like, take the time to listen, because everyone needs to get something off their chest, you know what I mean? And I'm so grateful and honored to be part of a special community in the Bay Area and just all over the world, with all the artists I work with internationally pertaining to music. And music is an outlet. Music is a vessel for us to convey and relay our messages, not just, a lot of folks, it's to the world, it's to the masses, but really it's how we feel and what we want to get off our chest, you know what I mean? And to me, that's the therapy. And all I hope is everyone has an outlet, whatever it is, if it's cooking, if it's comedy, if it's exercise, get something, you know what I mean, that allows you to channel the focused energy, get something that will, get the endorphins going. Because that's what people need, because the rage that's going around, school shootings, fools hating on each other because which way they vote, which policies they're for or they're against. You know what I mean? Like animosity breaking up families, breaking up communities. You're seeing a lot through our last, president do a lot of, some shed negative light on a lot of folks. So that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, people all need outlets because they hang themselves, they put all their energy on like the dumb shit. When like really you got to focus on what's in front of you. Familia, you know what I'm saying? Your own P's and Q's. Making sure you right, making sure you buttoned up.
Real.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Yeah.
Man, Well, shit, man. I again, bro. I just appreciate you coming. I appreciate you for coming through.
Hell yeah, man.
Thank you for coming on over to the other side of the water for this evening conversation, bro. This conversation has been like really good for me, for my spirit. I know this is definitely going to resonate with some people out there. Front man for the Baonix and also Jairo in the pocket.
Roja in the pocket.
I'm sorry, Roja in the pocket.
Yeah,
my man,
just
my ace,
Roja.
my boy right here, Jairo Vargas. Thank you again, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Papo.
Shout out to everybody who tuned in, who stuck around for the whole thing. The Tragic Podcast, episode number 7. Good luck and good night.
Peace.
Smile, pick up your head. It's alright, it's gonna be okay. I know times have been so rough.